Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. I am Hiral Dadia, Suzlon. That's the stock to focus on the back of numbers, the kind of turnaround that we've seen, as well as a couple of announcements that have taken center stage for the renewable energy space with regards to India becoming net zero for a net zero future. Joining us on the show is Himanshu Mody, the CFO at Suzlon. Himanshu, firstly, congratulations for a spectacular set of numbers, because from a profit number, from a two-digit, we've already jumped to a three-digit number this time around, close to 200 odd crores. If I look at the first 9 months in terms of profitability, overall, 440 odd crores is what we've seen. Is this the run rate that you will maintain with regards to FY24? And how do you see it moving into FY25, taking all the strategic decisions that have been taken so far?
Well, I think, given the order book that we have, which is about close to 3.2 gigawatts, which needs to be executed over the next 2 years, I think whilst we continue the run rate on a per megawatt basis, but in absolute rupee crore profitability terms, the outlook, given the order book that we have, is obviously much better. So I think, we should be able to improve significantly on the quarterly profits of the 200 crores that we've reported in Q3.
Okay, so how are you looking at closing FY24 then, and what's the growth that you're looking at in terms of FY25?
So again, I won't be able to give any specific numbers or guidance for either FY24 or 25, but to help your viewers to sort of do the math, we do about 35 to 40% of our revenues typically in H1 of every year, and the balance about 60 to 65% is in H2. So for FY24, we are pretty much on track for the same. So far as FY25 is concerned, a large part of the 3.2 gigawatt order book that we have currently is for execution in FY25. So, given where we end up at volumes in FY24, we should be able to see a substantial increase in volumes for FY25.
Okay. And overall, if you see in terms of, even the order book that you have, how much further addition are you expecting in the fourth quarter and getting into the first half of FY25? And how much will that take your annualized revenue average to?
So again, we continue to negotiate and discuss a very active order pipeline with our customers. Last when we spoke in early Jan, actually just about a month back, our order book was just about 2 gigawatts. So in just 1 month, we've been able to add a gigawatt of orders into our order book cycle. So a good, healthy, backlog is there. Discussions are there, which we should be able to convert. And we do have some capacities available for FY25, but largely sold out. And of course, we would start taking orders for FY26 as well.
Right. And we've repeatedly said that the fourth quarter is going to be strong in terms of order flows, right? Is that something that you still see coming in?
So order flows, I think, is not, a quarterly phenomena. I mean, the orders convert when they have to convert. Certainly, our deliveries, historically, the quarter four has been the highest quarter in terms of deliveries because, a lot of our customers would like to catch the high wind season in terms of installations before May. So as a result, the deliveries in Q4 typically are higher always.
Okay. And if you have to talk about the government initiative as well, two things. The renewable energy has taken center stage for net zero future, and they've said that they would be providing viability gap funding for the initial capacity of 1 gigawatt of offshore wind power. What would this actually mean for a company like yours? Because Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, those are the two coasts that they've identified.
So that's correct. I mean, there are no immediate short to medium term implications, but obviously it is a huge positive for the sector. Firstly, that the sector has made a mention in the union budget after some time, and the fact that the budgetary allocations have been made to the sector. So as and when, there is more clarity on what is the VGF available, what is the offshore policy norms for either of the two states that you mentioned, we would certainly as Suzlon be ready to have a fair share in this market as well. But from a directional perspective, I would think it is more medium to long term before we see any economic benefits of the same.
And then what's your view on the other models that have been proposed with regards to the bidding process for site exclusivity during the survey periods? Because they've said this could be with or without guaranteed seabed rights, right? What would you have to say on this?
So again, we have to see the fine print. Of course, how the exploration will happen. What is the model they're adopting? We are aware that a lot of the Western country models are being examined and studied by the policymakers. We are also working very closely with them in the advocacy. So very difficult to comment on the specifics, but especially for India, where our land bank available. In the country is still large, and a lot of the onshore turbine execution still needs to be done. So whilst offshore is good to have, but we need to mature on the offshore side with the policy advocacy.
Right. I know, Himanshu, I mean, solar as of now not on the radar as a separate segment altogether, but taking the government's impetus on solar into consideration, the schemes that they are announcing, do you think there is a possibility that the company could actually fast track the process of entering solar as a segment individually?
I mean, a very short and simple answer to your question is no. We are, having said that, we are keeping a track of the sector being in the space. But as of now, there are several reasons, and I don't want to take much airtime, but several reasons due to which we won't look at solar in the current state.
Right. And very lastly, from a utilization and capacity perspective, where do we stand and how are you looking at it over the next 12 to 18 months?
So obviously, our capacity utilization currently stands at roughly about 20 to 25%. But as we move into FY25, we are gearing up to use the capacity significantly. Rest assured that whatever order book we have confirmed for FY25 and 26, the capacities that we have are adequate to be able to deliver on those orders.
Right. So I think this is going to be really strong to look forward to companies in the renewable space as well from here on. Thank you, Himanshu, so much for speaking to us at NDTV Profit. And congratulations once again for that turnaround that we've been seeing. So that's the management of Suzlon with their plans and how are they looking at all the announcements that the government has made with regards to budget 2024 and their view in terms of how they're going to reshape the renewable energy space from here on. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching and lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to NDTV Profit.